So let's get into a little bit about like what recalibration looks like. Can you go into some techniques that project managers, people working in tech can use in real time when they're feeling triggered at work or managing trigger, like from like micro resets? I know that you sometimes have talked about here somatic grounding. You're a big breath work advocate. Any, along that line?
Um, I think the first thing to do is probably just communicate it, right? So let's say we are in a moment in an interaction and I'm starting to get a little bit elevated. One of the things I can do is say, can we take a step? Can we take a breath for a second? Like, let's take a step back. Because what's often happening in that moment is that while we are in this experience, our brain is also processing its own version of the experience. And so taking a moment to say, okay, can we review this again to make sure that I understand? So that way we are not responding to the version of the story in our minds, but the ones that's actually happening, right? Because our brains can create a whole novel out of like one sentence. So it's important to make sure that we can pause in the moment and kind of, and in that moment that you're asking for more clarity, just to review the information. That's also allowing you a few additional moments to continue to ground yourself, right? So one of the more from breathwork side is a physiological sigh, in which you take two short inhales and one long exhale. You can do it so discreetly that nobody will ever even notice that
I
you're doing
just did it.
right? Like nobody would ever know, right? You can't tell that you took two inhales and one exhale. So it's a really like stealthy way to kind of get in a little bit more oxygen into your body so that when you are done, it allows one, because our breathing tends to change the more elevated we become, so that those two inhales can really help to reoxygenate your brain cells so that it helps to recalibrate you a little bit more. Um, Another thing to definitely do is, if you can, take a full pause and just say, okay, I think we've worked to where we are right now.